Okay, so I think most people who are in the waiting room have joined, so we will begin. So welcome to the School of Engineering Registration Information Session. We really appreciate you taking some time to join us this evening. So before we begin, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Marie Reed, and I am one of the engineering advisors at the UBC Okanagan campus. My pronouns are she, her. I graduated with a mechanical engineering degree from the UBC Okanagan campus in 2013. And after graduation, I worked designing sawmill and planer mill equipment before returning to campus to complete my master's. And it was during this time that I became involved with advising and engineering outreach, which led me into the position I'm in today. So joining me this evening are Shpila and Samantha. So I am now going to pass it over to Shpila first and then Samantha to introduce themselves.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Shpila. My pronouns are also she and her. I graduated with a master's in English, and I'm currently working on a degree in counseling psychology. And after, before doing this, I did some work in communications and marketing, and just really missed working with students. So came back into advising.
Hello, everyone. My name is Samantha Luco. I'm an engineering advisor as well. My pronouns are she, her. My background is UBC Okanagan as well. So I studied here. I've been here with the School of Engineering for a number of years. I work specifically a lot with students who are doing minors, doing options, going abroad. Really, like, a big part of why I enjoy this job is helping you guys get the most out of this academic experience and getting all of these amazing, awesome experiences that are coming your way.
Great, thanks so much, Shpila and Samantha. So before we begin, I just want to let everyone know that this session is being recorded. So if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to message any of us directly in the chat. The recording will be shared via email to all first and second year students and transfer students within 1 week of this session. I would also like to acknowledge that UBC Okanagan is situated on the traditional, ancestral, unceded territory of the Syilx Okanagan peoples. And I would also like to acknowledge that you may be joining us today from many places near and far, and acknowledge the traditional owners and caretakers of those lands. So today we're going to be covering several different topics related to registration, and this includes first year and second year course planning, the general steps for how to register, as well as transfer credit and registration resources. After the presentation, we will have some time for questions. So to facilitate this discussion, we're going to be using the Q&A function in Zoom. So to ask a question, click on the Q&A icon at the bottom of your Zoom window, and we're going to do our best to answer as many questions as possible during this Q&A session. But please feel free to submit your questions anytime throughout the presentation as you think of them. So before we get into the nitty-gritty details of registration, I want to take a minute to really introduce our Engineering Academic Services team. You met a few of us here today, but we have quite a large team here to support engineering students, and we provide support such as course registration, campus resources, minor and option planning. We do professional development support and exchange opportunities and so much more. So we're all very excited to get to know you and to help you out throughout your degree. So you may be asking, okay, that's great. I see there's a great team, but how do I get a hold of you guys? How do I ask you questions? So there's many ways that you can contact us. You can email an advisor through soe.advising@ubc.ca. Please make sure you include your student number, so that will make it so we can help you quicker. We also have drop-in advising, and during the registration period, this will be virtual, and it will be on Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays from 1 to 4 p.m. And we also offer virtual and in-person advising appointments, but during the registration period, we will not be offering any appointments. We will just be answering inquiries through email and through our drop-in virtual advising. You can see all of this information on our website. If you go to soeadvising.ok.ubc.ca and click on the Talk to an Advisor tab. So before your registration date, we really suggest that students go to our website and they review the registration tab, the advising sheets tab, and our course planning tab. And this allows you to review a lot of information and quick tips and suggestions we have for your registration, as well as it allows you to view all the courses that you'll be registering in. So specifically under the advising sheets tab, you're going to find the Bachelor of Applied Science first year planning guide. This is specifically for our first year students. And then we also have curriculum maps by specialization. So these curriculum maps provide information about your courses from first year all the way to fourth year. And they also include specific details such as if the course has a lab or tutorial, what prerequisites and co-requisites are required for the course. So we highly recommend you take time to go through these documents. Please note, for a first year student, you can actually refer to any of the 4 curriculum maps, regardless of specialization, because first year courses are the same for all specializations. So as a first year Bachelor of Applied Science student, you're going to be registering for courses individually. So this slide here shows all of the required first year courses that you need to take if you want to go into a 4-year degree plan, which is when you take 6 courses per term, or a 5-year degree plan, which is when you take 5 courses per term. So the School of Engineering recommends students consider a reduced course load while transitioning to university coursework. So this is what that 5-year degree plan is. It's been developed so you have 5 courses per term. Students may enroll in summer courses after their first year to return to a 4-year degree plan if desired, which is a really great opportunity to sort of test this out. And if you decide you want to go back to 6 courses, you still can. So students interested in the 5-year degree plan should register for all first year courses except AppSci 176, which is a communications course, and AppSci 177, which is your coding course. So all of this information can be found in those curriculum maps by specialization that's on that advising sheet tab on our website. So now I want to also show an example for our second year students who may be attending today. So this is just one example of what the courses look like for a second year student. I just took it out of one of our curriculum maps specifically for civil engineering. So what you can see here is we basically have listed all your required courses if you're in civil engineering in second year for term 1 and term 2. And what you're going to notice when you open up those curriculum maps is on the left-hand side, it's going to show all the courses for a 4-year degree plan. And on the right-hand side, it's going to show all the courses each year for a 5-year degree plan. So this is a really great way to go review both of these plans, and really easy way for you to know exactly which course you need to be registering in. So please note that in second year, for students who were here last year, you may have registered in something called a standard timetable, but now you're going to be registering for in all the courses individually. So this will be really useful for you when you're searching. As well, please ensure you're selecting the curriculum map if you're in second year that matches your specialization, because the second year courses do differ per specialization. So next, I'm going to be providing a very quick overview of how you can find your courses on your Student Service Center and how you can create a work list and ultimately be ready for registering when your registration date and time opens. So the first step is to log into your Student Service Center. The login can be accessed from the UBC Okanagan Student Services page by clicking on the Login tab and then clicking on Student Service Center. Once you've signed in, you can click on Course Schedule on the front page, or you can go to the Registration tab on the top bar and then click on Course Schedule. I also like to note on this page here, there is a Need Help section with really great facts, video tutorials, technical support. right on that front page. So if you have any questions when you're going through registering, this is a really great resource. So next, very important, you want to make sure that your campus and your session are selected correctly. So under campus, you want to make sure it says UBC Okanagan, and under session, you want to make sure 2022 winter is selected. You can also then reach a work list from that page. So you can actually click on new work list here, and that will take you to this page where you'll be able to name or create your first work list. And basically what a work list is, it's a draft of all your courses you would like to register in. So it's a really great way for you to make sure you won't have any course conflicts, to map out what your schedule is going to look like in term 1 and term 2. But I just want to note, a work list, when you create it, you're not registered in the courses yet. It's just like creating a draft copy of what you're hoping to register in. So you still have to make sure you actually register for your courses on your registration date and time. This is just a really great tool to help you get prepared. So next, you're going to want to view the courses you're going to be registering in. So like I said, engineering students register in all their courses individually. So what you're going to do is you're going to view the courses by going to the Browse tab, and then you're going to click on Courses. So this brings you to this page here, and that's where you can actually select the first letter of your course code. So for first year students, the course code you want to be looking for is APSC. So that's for Applied Science. For second year students, you're going to, if you're in mechanical, electrical, or civil, your courses are going to also start with APSC. If you're in second year manufacturing, you'll also have courses that start with MANF or MANF. And if you're a third year student attending today, you would have courses that start with ENGR or MANF if you're in manufacturing. You don't have to remember this off the top of your head. All its information and course codes are included in those advising sheets that we talked about earlier. So for this example, we're going to select APSC. And so when you do that, it's basically going to give you a list of all the courses at UBC Okanagan that are available in 2022 winter that start with the course code APSC. So this is when you want to go to that advising sheet and look at all the courses you want to register in. For the example I'm going to use right now, we're going to select AppSci 171, and this is a required first year course. So when you click on that, it's going to take you to a page that looks like this, and then you're able to actually save this course to your work list. So another really important item that I want to talk about is some other details that are going to be shown on this screen. I selected a different course for this because I wanted to share some very specific section notes with you. So the course we're looking at now is called AppSci 182. And what we want to really focus on is all of these headers here. So you're going to look at the section, and that's related to the activity. So are you looking at a lecture, a lab, or a tutorial? You also want to look at the section comments that are related to each of the activities for the course. So specifically, these comments provide details related to the course component. So for instance, shown here, the labs actually start on different weeks. So if it has a star or an asterisk for this one, this lab will start every second week, starting with the start week. If it has the caret or the little hat, this lab starts every second week, starting with the week following the start week. So basically what that's telling you is they're on alternative weeks. So you want to pay attention to this when you're registering, because you may be able to register in two labs that are actually the same time, but if they're in alternative weeks. And that's actually why I'm talking about this course right now specifically, because our advising office highly recommends for AppSci 182 and 183 that first year students register in a lab in 1 week and their tutorial in the alternative week or the opposite week. And that's to help you to spread out the workload related to that course. So it's really easy for you guys to find this because you're literally just going to make sure one has a star and one has a caret, and then you know that they're in the alternative weeks. So this is the same for many other courses. Many of our courses have these section comments. So if you're in second year or third year, it would be the exact same thing. You may have labs, tutorials, and alternative weeks. So please read these section comments. The other couple items I just want to note here is make sure that you register in all components of the course. Make sure you register for the lecture, and if it has a lab and tutorial, you also have to register in those activities related to the course. And when you're creating your work list, we just want to remind you that even if you can put a conflicting course in your work list, you will not be able to register in a conflicting course. It will only allow you to register for one course out of the two. So please make sure you do not have any conflicting courses or sections in your work list, because you will not be able to register for those on your registration date and time, and you'll have to find a new section. So there is a second way that you can search for your courses on the Student Service Center. If you prefer this way, you can go to the search at the top bar and then click on courses. This takes you to the following page, and that's where you can write in your subject area or course code, for instance, APSC, and you can write in a very specific course number if you'd like, such as 171, or if you put in 1 star or 2 star, it will bring up all of the first year courses for AppSci or all of the second year courses for AppSci respectively. So this is just another way that you can search for courses if you prefer this method. So you can view your work list in a timetable format by going to the registration tab and then clicking on timetable. This is also the way that you can actually display your registered courses in a timetable format after you've registered. So this is a really great way to view all of your courses that you've added when you were searching, as we described earlier. So just a reminder that creating a work list does not register you in your courses. You still need to register on your registration date and time. And you'll know you registered in courses because if you click on this display registered button, you'll actually have a timetable there that shows courses that you've registered in. So lastly, I just want to talk about this help tab. Again, this is a really great resource for quick help and a glossary if you have any questions when you're going through your registration process. So now I'm going to pass it over to Samantha, and she's going to talk to you about transfer credits.
Hello, everyone. So I just want to chat a bit about transfer credits. And before I do, I think it's just helpful to remind everyone that it is quite person specific. So if you feel like you don't fall into any of these specific categories that we're talking about, feel free to chat with us to resolve your transfer credits. Transfer credits can be a bit of work right at the beginning of your degree, but you only have to do them once. So once we get them added into the system properly and applied towards your degree, we won't have to worry about them again. It's kind of all done and in the system, and you'll be good to have those credits. So there's a bunch of different types of transfer credits, and we'll start by talking about International Baccalaureate or IB, Advanced Placement or AP, and British Patterned or A-level credits. These credits are reviewed twice, basically. The first review is done by UBC once we receive your final transcripts, and they have to be official transcripts that show those courses completed and show the grades. If they meet the criteria, then the course will get added to your transfer credit record that you see in the Student Service Center. So some of you may already see some transfer credits showing up there. Once those credits get added, then it's up to the School of Engineering to review those and decide how we want to apply them towards your degree. So for IB, AP, and BP credits, sometimes we will ask for additional information, like we'll ask you to provide a syllabus or a bit of a description about the work that you did as part of that. But in general, we do only accept certain IB, AP, or A-level credit. And those are for courses AppSci 172, 173, 176, 183, and the Humanities elective. But it is recommended that even if you get 173 credit, I do suggest that you still consider taking 173, because 173 is our calculus 2 basically, and it is a really important foundational course moving forward through the rest of your degree. So you're going to want to make sure that you're on top of it and that you have a really good solid knowledge of that foundation. Otherwise it may get you into trouble later. Do not drop any courses either until you've received confirmation in writing from the School of Engineering that yes, you have received transfer credit, because that will mean that yes, we've added all the notes and everything on our end to make sure that that credit has carried over. And if you don't take a class in first year because you think you're going to get credit and then don't end up getting the credit, it can cause a lot of issues to try to add that course later. We may not be able to add you if it's too late in the summer. So stay in everything until you have for sure confirmation that yes, you received credit. And that goes for all transfer credits, not just AP and IB and BP. Next slide, Marie. So transfer credits from another institution are assessed as well, first by UBC and then by the department. And so when UBC reviews your prior study, you may see some of them will show up as specific credits, i.e. AppSci 172 credits or general credit. And so that would be for if a course is definitely, say, applied science, but doesn't exactly match any of our specific topics as far as UBC admissions is concerned. And if that's the case, then it might come in as AppSci first. There are more information in the links there about those credits and about what that engineering transfer credit looks like. If you have those general credits, then you can apply to the School of Engineering to say, hey guys, I have these credits. I don't know what to do with them. You know, what are they going to count as basically? And there is a transfer credit application form that you can fill out that will trigger us to go and review. And then we'll usually send you a nice little summary of this course equals this course equals this course doesn't equal this one, so you'll have to take it. That application for transfer credit will require that you hand in a syllabus and will require that you have your transcripts already on the record. It does ask for an unofficial transcript, and what we mean by that is it's just a screenshot to show that you have already taken the course, and it should match with what we're able to see on our end in that transfer credit tab. If you haven't already, like if you're still waiting for the transcripts for the transfer credits, say, to get added, use this time now to go get all those course syllabi and collect them and make sure you've got good records and are nice and organized for those transfer credit applications. You can start filling out the transfer credit application forms now as well if your credits are showing up in there, and then we'll get you all squared away as soon as we can. It often does take a bit of time to review transfer credits though, and remember that we do definitely need your final transcripts, and they have to be official transcripts sent through there. You also have to have accepted your offer before we will actually assign those transfer credits. For registering for courses if you have transfer credits. So once we add your credits, we'll give you a nice list to say, okay, here's the courses you've got credit for. You can go through those advising sheets that Marie talked about. You can figure out, okay, here's what I'm going to take. And for some students coming in from prior institutions, like if you get 1 or 2 courses, you might just be taking first year minus 1 or 2 courses, and maybe you'll enjoy a bit of breather room. If you have quite a lot of transfer credits, you may end up in a position where you're kind of in between year levels. And usually our strategy is that you're going to build your work list to kind of fill out the rest of the lowest year level, and then keep kind of working your way up the year levels from there based on what prerequisites you have. So for example, if you've got, say, half of first year done in transfer credits, register when you're building your work list in the second half of the first year courses first, then add second year courses onto that schedule until you get to the number that you want to take in the year. And you do have flexibility to choose yourself how many or how few courses you take in an academic term. Now, once you've got your work list ready to go, you may be a bit alarmed if you start to see some messages that says, hey, you don't have transfer credits. And you're like, no, I do. I got an email from SOE that says I do. Don't panic. Keep moving forward. So once your registration opens, we may not be able to, our system may not recognize those transfer credits that you have that fulfill prerequisites. So what you're going to do first is you're going to register into everything that you can yourself. So usually you'll have your work list that's all ready to go. You're going to go register all as soon as your registration opens. And for a transfer student, most may register, some may not, or a lot may not, or all but one may. But whatever you have left over, whichever ones you can't add yourself to, just email this soe.advising@ubc.ca. Make sure to include that key information there. Include your name, your student number, and your preferred sections. Some students will just give us like a short little list of this course, these sections, this course, these sections. That works really nicely, and we'll go ahead and add you as quickly as we can. Now, in second year, students register for a humanities elective, and I saw there was a question in the chat about that, so I'm going to answer that one right now. The humanities elective, and actually for one or two programs, you will actually take this course in fourth year. So at some point in your degree, you'll be taking a humanities elective. Many arts courses will fulfill the humanities and social sciences elective credit, but essentially the idea is that it's supposed to be a course that's outside of the sciences, that's outside of engineering. It will not be a course that has a technical focus or has a lab or has scientific components. It won't be anything that's like a fine art or a performance art or a language or anything like that. It's really meant to get at letting you explore something that's outside of engineering entirely, and allowing you to enter and take something that's really hopefully interests you and that will broaden your horizons a little bit, as well as recognizing that in the real world, you will be working with people from a ton of different backgrounds, including from the arts and social sciences world. So it is helpful to have a bit more of a background into how they do things. You can take this humanities elective anytime, though we do recommend taking it in the year that it's slotted in to be taken on those advising sheets. The topics are listed on this slide, and they're also available on the School of Engineering's website. We do have on our advising page a special link under course planning that gets you straight to the humanities elective list. We will also help you if you think you have a transfer credit that covers the humanities elective. You can submit a transfer credit request form to say, hey guys, I think this might be a humanities, and we'll take a look at it and see. I will note as well that when it comes to your humanities elective, engineering academic advising, we can only help you register for AppSci, ENGR, and manufacturing courses. Outside of those subject areas, you are going to have to go through that department if there's any issue with the course. But more likely than not, you should be choosing a course that you can register in yourself, that you have the prereqs for. Like, don't go ahead and try to take like a fourth year political science course. Try to take a first year one that you'll have the prereqs for and be able to register yourself in. It's also really important that your courses don't conflict with each other when you build your schedule. So you're going to want to make sure that you don't have any overlaps in the schedule, because you can't be in two places at once. Only one humanities elective, so one course that's 3 credits, is required for your Bachelor of Applied Science degree. So you can pick something fun, make the most of it. And if you're unsure if a course that you're interested in taking is approved, email us at soe.advising. Okay, so I'm going to move into talking now about second year placement. So you finish first year and you're looking in second year and you're thinking, okay, I've got to choose my discipline specific engineering program. I can go into civil, electrical, manufacturing, or mechanical engineering. All of these programs are great. And which one you choose is really going to depend on where you want to go and what kind of work you want to do. And we totally understand that students, when you come in first year, or even when you finish first year, you still may not know which one you want to do, and you may change your mind. And that is totally okay. So our students are guaranteed their program of choice at UBC Okanagan. So that is a huge, awesome perk of our program, is that you are guaranteed to get into any of those 4 programs that you want. And if you have an epiphany after you've selected and you want to change your mind, you can come chat with an advisor and we can usually change you quite easily. I do recommend not changing once you get into third year or fourth year, especially because by then you will have taken a lot of courses towards the other program. But you still can if you really don't want to do a particular program or really want to do a different one at a later point. Okay, another random topic we're going to talk about is third-party authorization. So we're talking to you about this because we really want to make sure that you know that your personal information and records are protected. And that means that we can't just tell anybody else anything about you. So if, say, your parents call or email or anything like that and want to know if you're registered or if you're okay or anything like that, we cannot even confirm that you go here. So your safety and your personal information is protected at everything. But we recognize that there are times when you wouldn't mind if somebody else had authorization to help you with records, to do things with any of these things, whether it's admission information, housing, medical information, academic records. So that would be like helping you with your grades and helping you add courses and stuff like that, financial assistance and awards, document pickup, all this. So there may be times when you need someone else to be able to access or request information related to any of these things. If you do, you can give them what's called third-party authorization on your Student Service Center. It's under personal information. And note that you can give third-party authorization with a time limit, and you can also give third-party authorization for some things, but not others. So if you want, say, your brother or somebody to help you with, say, your housing information, you can give them access to part, but not also give them information to, say, your financial assistance and awards tab or any of that sort of stuff, or document pickup privileges. And you can put a time limit on it. So an example I had is a couple of years ago, we have, well, every year actually, we tend to have students who are working in wildfire fighting positions, and they may not have access to the internet when they go to register. So they can give third-party authorization to somebody else who can then contact our office if needed, or who can help them get registered, even if they're, say, off in the woods fighting forest fires or something. So there are times when it's beneficial to have, and it's good to know that you have it if you need to use it. All right, so general registration tips. So the tips you're going to want to think about are, one is to really plan ahead. So think about, when your registration is going to open, what kind of courses you want to take, go in, make sure your year level standing is correct, make sure that your courses are all in your work list, start getting that together. We often do recommend preparing multiple work lists as well, because, what if, say, all the classes you initially were thinking get full, it's nice to have a backup plan of some other credits. We also recommend registering as soon as your date time appointment allows you. So you'll get a message about a week or two before your registration date saying, hey, here's your registration time. So it might say like 1 p.m. on July 11th. Okay, great. I would recommend going on at 1 p.m. and registering as soon as you can. Don't wait for like another week or two or anything like that, because courses will continue to fill up behind you. And if you want maximum choice of sections, go ahead and register as soon as your timing opens. For first years, you'll see registration opens June 27th, and for second years, you'll see it opens July 11th. We are also registering third and fourth years in there as well. So if we are being a little slow on emails or anything like that, please remember that we are working with 1,400 undergraduate students, and we will get to everyone as quickly as possible, and we'll make sure that you can get into the classes that you need. If things do fill up, like if you can't find a course or anything like that, reach out to our office. We can try to help you as well. It is our job to help you. And Marie, sorry, you can go ahead to the next slide. There are a ton of registration resources that exist to help you guys. There are a lot of them listed here. There are some that are provided by our office, and then there's some that just exist in general or that are university wide, like getting help using the student services, getting help paying tuition, doing those kinds of things. Anything to do with housing, contact the housing office on. Like there's tons of different resources that exist within UBC. And our team is happy to be a triage point as well. So if there's something that you're looking for and you just can't seem to find it, or you need help, if we don't know the answer, we can usually direct you to somebody who does.